And now, on with the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Yes, it's me, Dutch. Just nod if you can hear me. Doom, doom. Shit, that's out of tune. There, try again. What is that verse? Okay. It's just a little pinprick. Doom, doom. There'll be no more but I may feel a little sick, and they're not wrong about that. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. That'll keep me going through the show. God damn it, Johns. Come on, it's time to go. That's all you want me to do is run this damn theater. There is no pain, I am receding. That's right, a distant ship smoke on the horizon. Do you see it now? I'm telling you it's there. You're only coming through in waves. Motherfucker. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. Man, where the hell did I get these things? When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse. Oh, that's diabolical. Out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown. The dream is gone. I have become comfortably numb. Oh, yes. You see what you've done to me, Johns? Here I am, staring at myself in a mirror, singing tunes and the like. And I'm putting on yet another show for you. I'm your monkey, your puppet. Get out there and make Appalachians happy, you say. You know what, Johns? You. And there's not enough Kims, I don't believe, to get me through this show. But you know what? We're gonna make it happen anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Watoga Cinema's Studio B, Watoga Cinema proudly presents the cast and crew of Uranium Fever. And now... do I have to read this? Fine. I have the honor of introducing your host, Dutch Walker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh, thank you, please. I'd like to welcome you all to Watoga Cinema's Studio B. Please join me in giving a big applause to our guest announcer over there, Major Lilith, from the new Enclave.
But I'm still hungry.
I must say, though, I do rather like your voice. Anywho, we are thrilled all of you could join us tonight. Our guests have come on the wasteland machinima scene with a fevered passion for the machinima arts. Getting his start by filming player-created camps, Uranium Fever and his talented crew of builders and actors began giving these camps story through the use of machinima. Exploding on the machinima scene with Ironclad, featuring an epic battle between the Free States and Mothman cultists, to a massive Star Destroyer descending upon the wasteland. Each build film led to new innovations, better editing, and storytelling, leading up to the production of a new machinima film series called Wild Wasteland. The passion, the talent, and my God, the production value of Uranium and his crew has given us all in Appalachia a fever. And the cure? Well, is more uranium fever. In just a few moments, we will play for you Ironclad to whet your palate, and then bring out Uranium Fever and the crew. But first, let me check in with Lieutenant Grace O'Malley over at Watoga Cinema proper. She's there with a theater full of Appalachians ready to watch the debut of Episode 4, Wild Wasteland. Grace, how's it going over there?
Dutch, is that you?
Yes, Grace. How's the crowd?
It's like they won't hit the chems, Dutch. The excitement is almost violence. We've got Holly Green with the new Charleston Herald. Oh, and I see Gamer Girl from the FSM. And I'm not fangirling or anything, but I think the mayor of Flatwoods is here. I give it, like 30 minutes before they riot. There is real excitement for this one, Dutch.
That's amazing. Well, as you can see, folks, the excitement is real, and here's why. I give you Ironclad by Uranium Fever.
The prisoner says he's ready to talk, Captain.
You think yourself safe, yes, but you were misled.
Speak then, cultist.
The mire belongs to the Mothman. It does. The radiance of our Lord will burn holes in your tin boat. We waited and waited, but war comes for you, and your death follows.
What happened?
Cultist ambush, Captain. We fought him off, but they got a lucky hit on the stern.
Damage report? A missile directly hit the right generator. I'll need to take a closer look, but it doesn't look good. Permission to take the diving suit and check the damage, Captain. Very well. Take the suit down. Let's just hope we can survive the night.
We attacked the iron ship as instructed, Wraithwing. Our blessed Lord. Our aim, and it moves no longer.
The time has come. Our Lord the Mothman has delivered us our prize. To the river.
Any luck making contact with the dam?
Nothing is able to get through, sir. The static's too strong.
What unholy witchcraft have they conjured up? Entering the water now. The mist appears to be getting worse.
The damage is pretty bad, Captain.
The gearbox is crippled. Water intake.
The propeller and skeg were also shattered by the blast.
Visibility is getting really bad down here.
I don't know how long I can stay down.
It's like the fog is affecting our equipment.
Get him back!
I can't. Our short-range transmission is out too. I'm resurfacing. Get the captain!
They're in the water!
Oh no! I've been hit! I'm losing. To me! Retreat!
Stand fast, men!
They are retreating!
Trespasser, you tread on his land, pollute his water with your presence, but he is merciful. Death will come quickly. Step forward, and your sins will be forgiven.
Do your worst, monster.
My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see. Yes. Prepare yourself.
My crew light.
We're going live, going live, going live.
I don't know.
Going live. Going live. My God. We had to stop it right there because honestly, my heart can't take it anymore. The action, the sheer level of intensity of that film, yeah, we need to talk about this. But ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I'm going to, and as much as I hate to do this in the studio audience, due to regulations to the amount of bodies that we can fit in this studio, and also the current pandemic issues, we're going to have to ask the studio audience, not our Pip-Boy audience, but the studio audience to now exit the building.
I needed this break.
And there they go. All right, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you've had a chance to watch The Ironclad, which really, for me, was the breakout. I didn't know about uranium fever, to be honest, until that hit the scene, and my God, did it erupt and cause immediate reaction. And so, honestly, it is a thrill to watch, and even more so, I am, once again, as you know, super excited to have on tonight Uranium Fever. And ladies and gentlemen who are in the Pip-Boy audience, remember I have had to release the unfortunately the studio audience. Give me some of your time and welcome to the stage now the members of Uranium Fever. Please come on out. Yay! I will clap for you since the studio audience is not here. Clap, clap, clap. Cheers. Pip-Boy audience, I'm sure you're cheering at home. Wonderful, wonderful. Come on out, gentlemen, and I wish we had more fanfare for you.
Woo.
Hello, hello. Let's go ahead and have a seat. You'll excuse my legs here. I've had a tough workout today. All right, yes, everybody take a seat. I hope that you find... oh, you're so silent. All those masks. Yes, look at this group. My Lord. I mean, what a collection of individuals here. Welcome to the studio, boys.
Late to the party, Drago.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am, again, very excited to welcome Uranium Fever to the Watoga Cinema Studio B. Yes, you heard that correct, Studio B. There was a Studio A until there wasn't. So, again, fellas, thank you for coming out this evening. I would like to take a moment. First of all, I think we're all here to celebrate the work that you all have done within Machinima. And Machinima, of course, is the use of in-game mechanics and in-game, animations and just in-game actions to create film. And you have to excuse me, my Pip-Boy is talking back to me as I talk, so one moment.
So at any rate, we are here to really celebrate the films that you guys have created, but more importantly, get to know each of you, because unlike most machinima, generally speaking, this is a full team effort. I'm sorry, does that seat not work back there for you, sir? I mean, if it's boring you, I understand. You can always come up and crouch in front of the crew if you'd like. Feel free. Perhaps you're the one that has been hitting the Kim, sir. All right. I personally tested that chair for its effectiveness. Perhaps I need to send it back. I think the Enclave is here. They guaranteed, since the responders could not, they guaranteed that chair would work. Oh, it does work. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Enclave in the audience, I see you, and I appreciate the effort you have given to the stools there. They worked perfectly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to meet each and every one of these individuals here. Now, I implore you not to be overly wordy. No offense. You know, we all have places to be. Now, you're very important, so excuse me. Did I say that? Did I say that? Yes. All right, we're going to go around the room here, and I would like you each to stand and introduce yourselves, much like we do in grade school. And I would like to know who you are, and we would also like to know what you do for the production of the films that we see here. Okay, so we're going to start with you, sir, right here next to me in front. Excuse me if I don't have my Pip-Boy HUD up.
Hi, I'm Uranium Fever. I'm a sporadic camp builder and machinima creator. I don't do as much camp building now because of these guys, but I edit the videos and post them onto YouTube for people to watch.
United States.
Excellent.
If you like that store,
all right, thank you, Uranium.
Toilet. Or the clean sink.
And Corey, there at HQ, since you're filling in tonight for Grace, were you able to hear his Pip okay?
Hi, Dutch. I seem to be having some technical difficulties right now.
Oh, sure, no problem. All right, maybe the Pip-Boy chat can make sure that they're hearing everybody correctly. All right, let's go move down the couch here. Sir, who do we have here? I assume it's a sir. I do not know.
Yes, I'm Spiderfett. I am a camp builder. I help with some of the CGI work and filming for Uranium Fever's videos. I do a lot of shipbuilding. Yeah. I kind of do a lot of the different pre- and post-production work with the film.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Moving down. You, sir. Quite a stunning lad here. All right.
Awesome.
Yes, hi. My name is Logan Fox Gay. I run a small YouTube channel of Logan Fox Gaming. I do some camp building and some other YouTube videos as well, but I also do small-time voice acting for Uranium, but it's a not very big time, but this is a new career for me. But yeah, I enjoy it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
He does an amazing impression of a ghoul.
Yes, I do ask. Do you feel like he? So, sir, you have been able to tap into the antiquated YouTube. Is that correct? I've heard of this thing in the wasteland, but so YouTube still exists, does it?
There's some remnants of existence of it in this strange new world.
Fantastic. Yes, it used to put me to sleep with some ASMR. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but I love the ASMR from that. Well done. Good to meet you, sir. Good to meet you. And I feel like I recognize these 3D glasses here. Sir, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cleveland Kid. I'm a camp builder. I help out Uranium with a couple of his videos, and I like to party.
Whoa, likes the party. All right, well, you should attend our after party, that's for sure. It's a true party. All right, we're going to move back into a little bit more. These gentlemen behind you are definitely bringing a different vibe to the group. So, sir, there, and your skull oxygen mask, or your gas mask there. It's been a while since I've been out in the waste. Let's meet you, sir. Feel free to. Oh, there we go. Good, sir. Ah, yes.
This is HQ. We were not able to hear him.
Oh, no.
Duke is
All
in
right.
silent.
It's that mask. It's always the mask. So, Duke, yes, feel free to adjust if you... Yes. All right, we'll move on to the next, and then we'll see it to look into those technical difficulties there. And this is the sir that likes to face the wall. It's okay to turn around. I know the wall is very enticing.
You hear me?
Yes. Oh, there we go. We gotta find you first. Where did you go, sir? There we are. All right. Wonderful. Hello there. Stoutly you are.
Hey everybody, I'm Drago. I'm a Taurus.
Drago the Taurus.
Fast cars and fast women.
Oh my. Both of which don't exist here anymore. Well, fast women for sure.
Party.
Again, another partier. It's true actors here for sure. I see that. All right, and I think this guy may have been missed by the MIB. I don't know, but if he's here, maybe he's tame. I know it's the wall there. It's very intoxicating. Whoops.
Don't kill the fun here.
There you go.
My name is Bad Toast. Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to build with these guys. Very lucky. They make for a lot of awesome ideas, and it's been super fun working on the sets. So, yeah, I also like to party. I think we all do.
All right, what's not to love, right? Yes, what's not to love about the party? All right, I thank you, gentlemen. All right, everybody. This is Uranium Fever. We're going to work on some of the Pip-Boy vocals if we can. Hopefully that will get fixed. You know, any technical advice that anyone wants to give in the Pip-Boy chat, feel free to do so. So that we don't have to break the immersion, you know, of course. But all right, so we are here now. We just got done watching Ironclad, and I have to say again, as I was saying before you walked out, that film when I first watched it, I have to admit it really struck a chord because it was so involved in terms of the use of the game and the various items in the game in particular. So, you know, from a machinematic standpoint, that must have been pretty difficult, but also you have to have a good understanding and knowledge of what everything in the game is capable of. So I'd like to pick the brain of the designer of that video in particular. So Uranium, was that you that came up with that, or?
Yeah. So I've been doing a camp build series leading up to that video, based around the Free States faction, and yeah, I guess when I first started doing YouTube videos, it was more of a formulaic camp building channel, and I was trying to think of sort of a niche or different thing to do that would kind of, I guess, try and put me apart from some of the other camp builders. And it first graduated from, you know, having no actors to actors, and then wanting voice actors. And it always makes me laugh, Ironclad, because my friend Harry from school, who's also English, he voiced every character. And it's interesting to see how much the voice cast has expanded since then. But it also is most of the guys on this couch as well, who slogged it out in the torrential rain and unpredictable weather cycles to get it all filmed.
Yes, absolutely. That is, yes, this video, just for the studio audience, or excuse me, the want-to-be studio audience, the Pip-Boy audience, those of you who aren't aware, this video, I believe, was also actually recognized, if I do remember, by, you did receive some media attention, didn't you?
Yeah, it was picked up by Fallout on Twitter, which was nice.
Yes.
But I think in the long term, it was really good because, like I mentioned with the voice cast, it kind of introduced more people in the community, I guess, to the work we were doing. And a big shout out to the Enclave EAF for essentially reaching out to me after that and being really integral in expanding that voice cast. Grey Fox and Barnett both providing their voices now to multiple videos. And I think off the back of that, Kenny as well, he passed me on to Mark Halsworth and all sorts of people, and yeah, it was a very important video for the development of the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. It received, I believe, up to date 4,682 views as of
today, if I was checking correctly. So, and that initial video, then you said pretty much there was what, one voice actor then involved with that, or just a small?
Yep, just my friend Harry. Using my novice skills at Adobe Audition, trying to spread out the spread out the pitch and shift to try and make it sound like it was multiple people.
Right.
I think there were a couple of characters. Obviously, you had gas masks, so there were little opportunities to kind of do some different reverb. But yeah, huge credit to him as well, because I think that he did a really good job with what was quite a difficult project. Being a one-man show, doing a variety of accents when that's not his natural accent at all.
Right. Can I get Corey? Can I get a Pip-Boy check of the Pip-Boy stream?
Right. So the problem is that your auto Pip-Boy is speaking for you. I think maybe your notification settings in your Pip-Boy are set to speak to you. So if we could just take a 30-second intermission, I do believe I'll be able to have Hawkins do an adjustment to your notification settings.
Right, that sounds wonderful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that seems like a good time to let's segue a little bit. I want to come back to Ironclad a little bit towards the end, but I think we should probably, we also here to take a look at the newest film series, Wild Wasteland, that is done by really a collaborative effort of all of you. Is that correct?
Yeah, everyone's been involved with that. Set designs, acting, ideas. It's definitely our most collaborative project today.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the initial trailer for that, and then we're gonna watch the first episode while we take care of some of these Pip-Boy issues. All right, so let's go ahead, and we're gonna take a look at that now.
Clear the hangar!
What the hell is that?
Assimilate the humans. Join the line.
Blast them!
Welcome back. Guessing something went wrong.
Yeah. 42nd century. Dolphin-human hybrids.
Well, I've seen worse. Fan out. It's almost too quiet.
You're a bunch of psychopaths, murderers, degenerates, and savages. And we love you for it. Let the game begin!
The Fang Center has reopened!
Say cheese!
Cheese!
Lock on target.
Oh wow! What a hit!
Nice. Oh, it's on!
Provide me with a decent challenge.
Well, there's nothing like a quiet, uneventful evening fishing. What on earth is that? What's this about?
life form detected in our vicinity.
Should we begin weapons testing?
Affirmative. Load all armaments.
Weapons ready. Target locked.
Excuse me. Wait, what? No. Oh, come on.
The weapons were very effective.
Affirmative. Logging report. Cloaking initiated.
See if any ideas spark, and the track that played during the battle scene, Night of the Drowned, that gave me the idea to have them swing through the water, actually. So, yeah, it can be a kind of a little bit of both.
What the hell? There's some heavy breathing going on there. The party has not started yet. The party has not started yet.
Somebody's really
Heavy breathing.
All right. Welcome to the wasteland, my friends. Welcome to the wasteland. All right, continue on.
How music plays into editing.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially, I'd say it was a mix of both, but I think that the music forms some of the scenes in a script. So when it comes to the edit, it's kind of I already know which music I'm going to use for a scene. But then other times, particularly with trailers, I will sometimes do the composition of scenes first, and then try and find trailer music that fits the scene. But it varies. I don't think there's a definitive way that I stick to.
Gotcha. I do want to ask, from the planning standpoint, are you a storyboard, creator, or do you kind of wing the various scenes and things like that and look for the best shots?
Again, this is going to be a not very definitive answer, but
sure.
I normally will write a skeleton script. I'll have an idea of the scenes that I want to get. What will often happen during shooting is unexpected things might happen. People might have ideas. We're quite vocal when we shoot scenes, so that collaborative element really it carries through to every level of the creation.
Right.
But I'd say on the whole, it all begins with the script.
Right. So you have a basic idea. Okay, I want to sort of circle back because we got a little sidetracked there by the Pit Boys, and that typically is something that always happens. And we've been on holiday for quite a while, so there's always going to be those little errors. But I want to kind of get back to the foundation of you all as a group. So we understand Uranium, you kind of started off, a solo adventure. But then as we just looked at Wild Wasteland, obviously the production value is starting to go up there, which means, and you had mentioned that working with the Enclave Armed Forces, the EAF, and adding some of the voice acting aspects. Walk us through what and how you have become your current state. So in other words, take us through the early days. So after you did Ironclad, obviously things began to pop for you. So what was the next step for you? Did you, again, winging it, or did you begin to have a plan that this was something that you wanted to begin to really do?
So, I mean, up until Ironclad, all of the camps featured in the machinima were always mine.
Right.
Like I mentioned earlier, I met most of the guys on this couch during the filming of that, but they were only acting at that point. But I'd say around the same time, I think these guys were already doing this. They'd go around in groups to each other's camps. They'd talk about the ideas they had, the theme behind the build, and it was a really good environment. to be honest, and their camps are so good, as I'm sure you've seen now.
Yes.
So it's now definitely it's a collection of different people's work that's featured. I'd just like to give a small prompt to Cleveland, because if it's okay with you, Cleveland, could you just give a brief description of the time traveler character that you mentioned to me?
If you could, yeah, Cleveland, go ahead and stand. Oh yeah, there you go.
Sorry to interrupt, but my Collectron found some used toilet paper, and
Of
I really
course.
gotta go.
Yeah, we know that for sure. Yeah, please collect some for us as well. Thank you, sir. All right.
Goodbye, Duke.
Cleveland, please feel free to stand as you. Yes, there we go.
Oh, okay. Well, when I first came up with the character, it was kind of just off the top of my head. I remember I just threw a different little outfit together. It was shortly after I met Uranium, and he basically just asked for a background of this character. So basically, what it was a time traveler that was escaping its planet that was being attacked by another alien race. They were in the midst of actually blowing the planet up as he was escaping. As he was escaping, one of the aliens that was chasing him ended up shooting the ship and damaging it. So as it was trying to jump back in time to try to stop the aliens from attacking in the first place. So when his ship got attacked and became damaged, when he time jumped, he went to a different time, which ended up in the same universe as what we're in right now. And then when he crashed land, basically the story kind of started evolving right from there. I believe we originally had, and I'm not sure if this is actually still part, but the Enclave found parts of the ship, and we're still trying to get some of the things back. So,
yeah, I think just a very small note, I guess, is with the videos like Ironclad and all the camp builds before then, I'd initially intended to keep everything very grounded, kind of itty gritty, known factions, keep it very. I don't want to say lore friendly because there are aliens in Fallout lore, but I think listening to Cleveland talk about this character, and when I say character, I mean every level of this was a concept. It was the build, the backstory, the look of the character. It really kind of made me realise that we should be going big with this, maybe a little bit silly, a bit crazy. And I'm sure that that's reflected now in the episodes you've been watching in Wild Wasteland, which of course is named after the perk from New Vegas where wacky and wonderful things would happen intermittently during your Wasteland experience.
Yeah, I think that is the thing that strikes a lot of people, and myself in particular, was you were able to marry kind of the goofiness of this world, this universe, but expand upon it as well. But you really captured, and you and I have talked privately about that, you have really captured the essence of Fallout, whereas many machinimas, and I won't be looking your way, Commander Johns, but many machinimas, they almost alienate the Fallout world as it's been built to create sort of their own lore, which is fine, but at the same time, you lose the flavor of what Fallout really is. And in your case, all of you really have captured not only the build aspect, but yeah, the themes of Fallout and have really pushed the boundaries on that. I've been notified that we have a couple questions. So HQ, if you'd like to chime in on those questions, please feel free.
Yes, I would, actually. Thank you very much, Dutch.
Sure, Corey.
That you do have a tendency to just... Okay, sorry. The first one is, again, from Officer Barnett, and she was wondering, and it's a general question to everybody, about how you all think Machinima and Fallout 76 compares with other creator/builder games like Minecraft or No Man's Sky, Sims, etc.
Well, I haven't actually seen any. I probably should watch more Machinima from other subject matters. I watch a lot of Warhammer 40,000 Machinima, which is very good. Now we have been kind of talking a lot about No Man's Sky, actually, not necessarily for Machinima, but just in general. I've never actually played it, but Spiderfet and I think all of you guys now, you all play No Man's Sky as well, don't you? But I could see that being an interesting world space to do Machinima in.
It's definitely Machinima friendly, I will say that.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and Next question, HQ.
Absolutely. The second question comes from the theater company. I understand that they have a big production coming up soon with the new responders as well. Dutch, are you starring in that? Oh, I'm sorry, right, not with the new responders anymore. The question
Yes,
is,
that was a nice little
do
slide
you
there. I
accept?
understand. No meat for you. No meat
Yes,
for you.
yes. Well, do you accept ideas or script submissions for productions?
Sorry, just so I understand the question, would we, if someone gave us a script or an idea, would we then go away and make a machinima around that? Is that what they're getting at?
I believe that is the question.
Yeah.
Like if somebody were to offer a submission for consideration.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. But what I would say is, and this is the great thing about this group, which I'm sure everyone would agree on, is that I don't think we've ever said, well, what should we do now? It's, when will we do the next thing? Because we have such a long list of ideas that we've had, that we shelved, that we will get to eventually. So I definitely think that, I obviously know the theatre company, they're amazing. So yeah, if they want to send the script, I'd love to see it. But it's definitely something I'm sure we'd be open to, 100%.
It's like added to the things, yes. So I can attest in my interviews pre-production, this group is inundated with ideas, no doubt about that. I think I would like to, we're talking about the builds right now. I think it would be appropriate at this point to take a look at some of these build videos. This is really the start of the group, right? I mean, if we're really talking about where you guys got your beginnings, it would be important to look back a bit. And I also want to, look at some of the video production, build productions that have been done from the others here. So Uranium, if you might, which build do you think, which video would you like me to pull up?
So if we just carry on from where we actually left off prior to the questions, we were talking about how Wild Wasteland, we were kind of going into outer space a little bit. I think it'd be a great time to bring in Spider-Fet and Bad Notions, because I met both of them just after we'd finished Ironclad, and they, without a doubt, are probably the best shipbuilders in Fallout 76 on any platform.
Yes.
So it kind of all fell into place
understatement. Yeah, understatement there. Yes. All right.
I know Spider-Fet has his Millennium Falcon and X-Wing, I think, as a teaser. Oh,
right.
Sorry, as a showpiece. So I think that'd be a great time to show that off.
All right. Eventually, we're going to get a screen that actually lowers here. But look at that! How the game suddenly changed my wall back there. Anyway, so okay. Right. So sorry, I get distracted pretty easily. It's the purified water that they give you here. All right. So we're going to take a look at underestimate this builder here. This is some amazing stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. That, I think everyone can agree, some stellar stuff there. I mean, I was watching that earlier with Corey. Well, not Corey. Sorry, Corey. I didn't mean to tell on you. But at any rate, we were watching that, and the build is absolutely amazing, especially the Millennium Falcon. And I don't know how you feel, Pip-Boy audience, but again, inspirational in terms of what is possible. And I think if people understood the level of complexity that went into this. So what we're going to do, or what we're going to attempt to do, I should say, is we're going to replay that video, and we're going to allow the creator to kind of walk us through some of the thought processes with that. You'll have to bear in mind that we are dealing with wasteland equipment here, so it may take a moment to set that up. So just bear with me for just a few moments. All right, we're going to load that up now, I believe, and the video will just play through. And feel free, SpiderFett, to give us a little background information on the creative process, as it were.
Well,
HQ, wait one moment. 1 second. HQ, can you hear us?
You're good. Go
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, the X-Wing was kind of intermediate of the Millennium Falcon, because that was kind of like in pre-production. I got frustrated with that build, so I was playing around with it, and I'm like, oh yeah, the fire would be a great place to put the crash light. I was talking to Dad. I think he made a comment about having Dega crash light. Like, okay, so I started playing around with trying to make an X-Wing and trying to make it look more like an X-Wing, because I have seen other ones out there, but like people weren't doing the engines right and stuff like that, and so I'm like, oh, I can do better than this. And then I just started putting more detail and more detail and more detail to make it look more like the X-Wing in the movie. And then I added that little campsite there because it kind of ties it together. As for the Millennium Falcon, that one had been redone multiple times until I could get the shape right, and had to do a lot of glitching, foundation glitching and all that to make that the angles right. That one was definitely a challenge for me to get the shape.
Yeah.
But it was satisfactory at the end when I got it done, and I think personally, I think it's one of my best builds.
Right, now I have to ask, and Pip audience, please feel free to chime in, because I know there are going to be questions about that build, especially the Millennium Falcon. That one just blows my mind. Do you map these builds out like on pen and paper, or do you just kind of eyeball? I mean, the measurements are so accurate, and how does that process work? I mean, what goes into your mindset when you start to create a build like the Millennium Falcon?
I basically freehand it in a way. I just start making the basic shapes, and then I just start modifying those shapes to make it what I want it to be. Yeah, I guess I work in a different creative way in that fashion. So when I think of an idea, I'm like, okay, how do I do it? Then I have inspiration. I look at pictures. I'm a big Lego guy, so I have the big Millennium Falcon. So I look at that for detail work, because Lego kind of simplifies things a little bit to help me translate it into this game.
Again, yes, those Legos. I remember hearing about those in my Vault Pip-Boy class books. Yeah. So really, what you're saying is you're just a genius.
I guess I'm a little modest than that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think differently. That's all I can say.
Right, and that's what all geniuses say. No, it's fantastic. I remember there were these creators called Bethesda and Fallout and things like that from these old games that we all used to play. But honestly, if you're looking at this anytime ever, if we are so graced with your presence, these are the selling points of this game, the ability to do these types of things. How long does a build like that take you?
They're all different. Like the X-Wing only took me maybe a day to do. The only reason why it took me a little longer in some aspects is just me trying to put detail work. The shape is so simple. I just recently did in Fallout Worlds 3 X-Wings, and I did them within 6 hours. And they're matching the same one I already did. So I have those flying over the forest of Endor, of Wasteland. As for the Millennium Falcon, like I said, I did that about 4 or 5 times before I could get it where I wanted it. That one, I don't even know how many hours. Too many, because it was a challenge.
So would you say the way that you...
That's actually...
Go ahead, sorry, Corey.
No, go ahead.
Forgive me. Yes, go ahead.
Well, no, there was actually a question that is kind of pertinent to that. It was about sketching stuff on graph paper beforehand, or just kind of figuring it out when you're in the moment.
I figure it out in the moment. I get inspiration from something, and then I just go to it. That's how I work in the real world. When I have an idea, I just kind of run with it. But it's getting that first inspiration spark is always the biggest struggle.
Did he just say the real world? I mean, does it not get any realer than this?
Issues is the real world.
Maybe it's the Kims. I understand. Okay, wonderful. All right, so...
I jet before I came on set, so I apologize.
Right. No worries. I have some Calmex around the green room behind you there if you'd like some. All right. Did we say that? Sorry, Corey, you didn't hear that. Don't tell anybody. All right. So Uranium, as a creator of machinima, and you see that build, obviously that definitely gets the juices flowing. So do you have any plans, or maybe you can't say anything to us, but do you have any plans for an X-Wing Millennium Falcon takedown of Darth Vader anytime soon?
Well, obviously, Bad Notions, we're here with us as well.
Yes.
Recently built a very large Star Destroyer. Sadly, I don't think we can have both of them at that location anyway, but who knows, maybe they might find themselves one chasing the other somewhere else. You never know.
You never know.
I guess I'll wait and find out. But, there's plenty more ships from plenty other series, so
for sure,
I expect to see more of those, I imagine.
I think maybe that's a good segue into taking a look at this said Star Destroyer. And Pip audience, if you have not seen this particular monstrosity, it is absolutely amazing. And confirm this for me, but was this one of the first builds that you did in the New Worlds category?
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to go ahead and very similarly, we're going to take a look at the Star Destroyer, and then we're going to let you come back and speak about that in just a moment here.
It was the first day.
All right. Thank you.
Hours in.
All right, so again, just epic proportions there. I want to, we have HQ has notified me, Corey, that we have a few questions that pertain to the first build cycle that we saw with the Star Wars pieces. So go ahead, Corey.
Or field commander would be actually more appropriate.
I
for
thought
you
we were on
guys,
a
I think.
first name basis. I mean, I you know, I don't wear the suit anymore. Only this one.
Right. Well, moving to the questions. Let's focus on a question was what it's like using like the aspects of 76 for certain stories or skits. And so what I'm assuming for this is the backdrop settings as you're creating your builds and your stories.
Clarify that a little bit. I'm not sure.
Well, the question was, what's it like using the lore aspects of 76 for certain stories and skits or designs?
I think I'm missing a word each time. Did you say the lore aspects of 76? Is that what you said?
So
yeah.
like the lore and aspects of 76. So that would be, I would assume by the question, things like obviously the lore itself, but the aspects would be the mechanics and the setups itself as you're designing.
Sure. Yeah, I actually don't know how to answer that. I bet someone else wants to have a go.
Ooh, Zayden's.
Yes.
There's Zayden's in the lore. I like aliens.
They're an excuse to do anything you want, really. You've got one alien species, so why can't you have several?
There you go. So the idea
maybe to clarify is like, do you feel particularly creatively inhibited in any fashion when you're setting up for your designs for your builds, when you consider the aspects of lore and mechanics, or do you simply just set everything aside?
So I think that I'd say that we have different content strands. Most of the machinima stuff we do, even some of the stuff that's quite out there, it does have roots in the lore. So during the trailer earlier on, you would have seen a very large 3D model of an eldritch-looking being. We do dig around to find anything that's a bit far-fetched within the lore to kind of as a jumping-off point. But also another content strand would definitely be doing, essentially pastiche or parodies of other series, films, you name it. I don't think we're tied to sticking explicitly to the lore, but we do like to do content that is grounded like that, I suppose. In terms of the camp building mechanics, I'd say, and there is a segment we can play later on, which will be, I guess, showing off something we've coined interactive camp building. These guys, they have such a knowledge of how to get the most out of the camp building system, more than anyone else I think I've seen in a lot of aspects. So I don't think that's really ever an issue. You will be limitations. For example, trying to build a Star Destroyer, it's very difficult to get the curvature you need and to have it at a sort of a. You're never going to have it life size, are you? But you're going to have it at a size which, when you look at it, you know what you're looking at. But there are some limitations, I think. But you normally can find a way around something. I hope that answered the question. I've got no idea.
I think it does. I think that's very succinct, and it actually ties into the kind of follow-up question that was kind of piggybacking on that one, which was, what is the #1 build feature you all would like to see added? You had your druthers. You could make anything. What would it be?
Shall we all answer this? It'd be interesting to see what our #1 feature would be.
Yeah, I would like to make it even more complicated if I could, and and have you guys just stand up, because I want our audience to really see who's speaking, if you don't mind. Here, there we go.
Sure.
Perfect.
I guess a camp build feature that I'd love to see would be the ability to rotate camp build items. And by that I mean, not just, I mean rotate them at an angle.
Yes.
There were mods in Fallout 4 where you could do that. It clearly is possible within the game system. Modders have done it. Do I see it happening? No. I'm not confident, but it's something that could be brought in anytime soon. But yeah, I'd say rotating items would be pretty game changing, I suppose, for camp building.
Yeah, even just for honest, if you can't tell. Rotate. All right, go ahead, sir.
Allowing things to merge automatically, so you don't, like in Skyrim, I don't know if anybody's done building in Skyrim, you can overlap things, intersect them. It would be nice to be able to do that. That would save our merging so much.
What I miss about the having in the camp building segments is from Fallout 4 is the placement of stairs on different spots on the foundations or the floors. So having a multiple snapping points for stairs would save some space on buildings. That's the probably one of the features I'm missing.
Taking notes, I'm sure. Hopefully somebody is definitely taking notes. Let's see here. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
I'd say I'd 100% agree with Uranium. I'd love to see some kind of like access to be able to rotate, but on top of that, maybe even be able to grab in-game items, like say like coffee cans, be able to place them anywhere that you want in your camp. Actually, kind of fill up like say the top of your desk. It would look really nice with a nice little coffee cup up there.
Right.
Clutter. That's a great shout.
Yes, clutter. Exactly, making it look more
Clutter.
natural.
Excellent point.
Yes.
Fascinated by that wall. There we go.
I really like that wall.
We need the tech department to work on that. Yeah, go ahead.
You guys hear me? I'm getting a lot of lag and breaking up.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
About placing items wherever you'd like on display. That would be great for clutter and immersion.
For sure.
Rotating as well. That would be amazing. You could really go crazy with that.
Righto, thank you.
Not the intersecting, huh?
Yeah.
I see how it is. All right.
Terrible suggestion.
I guess so. It's a terrible suggestion.
I got you.
That's it.
I mean, I'm with y'all on rotating and tilting. I want more budget and shelters, and then I want a full audience, man. Why don't we have a full player lobby in here? You know what I mean?
24.
I mean, sir.
I mean, we tried to fit 24 in here.
You're lucky, sir, that we didn't test you before you walked in here. I mean, look at you. Look at you. I hope that's a mask. I hope that's a mask. Yeah, you look a little sick there. I'm sorry. That's right. I'm sorry, Uranium. I know you think you're in the UK. There's no tea bags here. All right? There's no tea bags here. All right. Trust me. I know. I've tried for years to get a good tea bag here, but you can't get one. I'm telling you. It doesn't exist. All right. Okay, so I think Uranium, you brought up a good a point as far as the build goes. Let's go ahead and take a look at a video that you guys did that really kind of goes into the minutia of the build details. Would you like to segue into that and give us a little details about what we're going to see here?
Yeah, sure. So this video is a selection of very short clips from mostly edited videos that have already been released, but a couple that haven't been edited yet, so there won't be any music over the top or anything like that. But essentially what it showcases is the ingenuity of most of the people on this couch. In terms of when it comes to editing, it really is useful because the guys create special effects essentially using the camp build system. So all I need to do is film them, if it's springboard traps, if it's switches, I just need to film that and then put some audio on top of it, and it sounds or looks like it's. We've had people say before, there was a teleporter which was all, it wasn't actually done in post-production, it was actually in game, and we had people saying that, that was great in post-production. It's like, well, it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah,
so
well,
this will basically showcase things like that, which hopefully people will kind of look at it and think, wow, that's some pretty big brain stuff that these guys have been doing.
Yeah, I'll have to say now. Have you ever thought about unionizing these builders and like taking them on the road and allowing them to do productions for other companies? And I'm just dropping a card because that yeah the was that a shameless plug? Was that a shameless ask and grab? No,
No.
I didn't say ask and grab. I didn't say that. I said ask and grab. So. Yes, no, I would have to agree with you. Again, after researching these videos and really watching and paying attention to the mechanics, that is exactly what we're getting at. The builds really are the machinima, the machinima artist, the director that cuts the scenes, of course, sees the vision. But without those builds, yeah, the effects are just so limited. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now as we take a look at this video, which I found incredibly interesting. So I think Pip Chat, take a look and make some notes.
Ready to talk, meat?
You'll get nothing from me.
Last chance, buddy.
Do your worst.
Have it your way. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yes, yes! The juice is ready. It's ready! Check the intake. Check it now! Don't interrupt. See the fruits of our labors? Flicking the first switch makes the meat up there disappear. And flicking the second one, boop, brings the meat back.
Uh-huh.
Ta-da!
Uranium. That was a good one.
All right, that's yes. So as you saw there, and I'm going to let the guys here talk for a moment, but yeah, the absolute amazing aspects of these builds. So I'm going to shut up, even though that's very hard for me to do. Go ahead, everybody. Go ahead and who wants to start? And whoever wants to start the discussion here, feel free to stand, and that way we know who's talking.
I reckon we should move to Bad with this first, maybe, because he's done a lot of those examples were workarounds that he'd thought up. So I'll be quiet now and let him talk.
All right.
I mean, you came up with the ideas, so you give yourself some credit there, sir. And the group here really helped with the ideas too. Like,
I'll stand up too then.
It was
a meeting of the minds. We have two spacemen. Yes, let's talk about effects. I said no tea bags here in the while. Yeah, you know, Appalachia is not possible. Unless you plan to share the tea bags, you know, because there we go. Look at these two.
Sorry, we haven't said anything yet. But
so
any day now.
It's so okay. Well, Uranium, you know, being the creative he is with his scripts and his plot, he had some things he wanted, and they were pretty specific. You know, he wanted time travel, and that was a very hard one. So that led to me looking on YouTube, trying to see any examples to pull something from, not to copy, but to make my own. You know, and Duke Destro, yeah, that guy. He was the only example to even pull from anything.
He's amazing too.
I mean,
Yeah.
anyone with the name Duke Destro has to be amazing. That's the best name. It's the strongest name I've ever heard.
It's a strong name.
It really is. It was awesome.
It's fun to say too.
It is.
To figure out how he did it, because I tried, and then afterwards when we got to see how he did his, it turned out it's completely different. You know, he uses like flamethrowers, and he's got elements where time is like, he's buying time by destroying other building pieces before it destroys a conduit. You know, like that's taking power so then it runs. It's just crazy complex. Very
My
fun
God.
to try and
Yes.
play with. You know.
Yes, that's absolutely amazing. So, Duke unfortunately had to. That's too easy. It's a setup softball, but Duke had to go collect some toilet paper. Is that correct? Yeah.
Collectron, I think he said.
Yeah, it's Collectron. So yeah, so basically, what you say here is that Duke kind of had these massive ideas, and you just went and swiped them up, is what you're saying.
Whoa! I tried to make them my own. You know, I'll stand back up for that.
All right, I just like, you know, I think. No. And what I meant by that, I didn't mean that you swiped the ideas. I meant I didn't mean that. I meant that, you know, you just went out and recruited him and grabbed them, right? Yeah, you know, you can teabag later. It's
that
okay.
is actually what happens.
There we go. You're right. No, understood. So
that is
right.
It was awesome. I mean,
Not at all.
Absolutely.
Can't beat them and join them, root them. He's now
And
definitely.
notions, he implied a lot of like trap camp ideas and features.
I'm a little
with the spring traps. And a lot of that experience played off into that build for sure, especially with the People Crusher and the press, right?
This is true.
Right. So
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Seth.
I was just going to say, actually, that's a really good point. That when I said that there aren't many people doing it, I think trap camp builders. There was a guy called Kazamati. He used to do similar things, so I was being a bit unfair there. It is almost a trap camp way of thinking, I guess.
Right.
Applying that sort of slightly evil way of thinking to something less perilous. But yeah, I think that they've actually taken it further than that. And when Bad was saying about how, you know, he'd seen Duke do something, the amazing thing, of course, is that he ended up doing it a completely different way.
Right.
So
right.
you know, they're always discovering new ways of doing things, new workarounds, etc. So.
Right. There's really no new ideas there. It's just the innovations that make them that much better. And the fact that you work together as a team and you have these minds all working together, I mean, honestly, you have a very unfair advantage, sir, if we do say so myself. But that being said, no. So you had also mentioned something that you had brought up momentarily, but that a lot of the effects that are happening there that we think our post-production effects are actually things that you are creating in the game at the time. Can you just give us one example of where one may have thought it was post-production, but is actually just an in-game mechanic taking effect? What would that be, if you could point one out?
Well, this technically, and I will claim this one. This technically isn't using camp building. It's using the. God, I've forgotten the name of what the update was called. Camp slots. Using the camp slot system, something that we do quite a lot now is, if you change camp, obviously it will load out.
Yes,
we use that to basically look like a dematerializing ship. When you
Right.
speed it up or slow it down. Actually, do you know what? It extends to in-game weapons, grenades, etc. We've used the, I think it's the scan grenade. If you reverse that, it looks like it's It's an upwards sort of teleport. So it's yeah, I think that's something I'm most proud of as a group. Is we don't just rely on post-production. We really take everything that's in the Fallout world and at our fingertips to the very extent of probably not even how it was meant to be used. We kind of make a lot of that our own formula, I suppose.
Right. Yes, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to give the Pip-Boy channels, if we were just not missing Duke Destro, this would make an amazing shot of the coming soon ILM of Fallout 76, the Industrial Light and Magic group right here. So if anyone knows what that is the creative force behind.
I like that idea. That's
yes.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we are dealing with ILM here. I don't know. But yeah, so the idea, again, going back to the fact that you guys have so much knowledge about the mechanics of this game and being able to utilize them, again, makes you very unique in that aspect. So I think what I would like to do, if we could transition, anybody have any more to say on the builds right now? We do have one question coming in regarding worlds, and we will get to that. We do have a section that we're going to discuss in a moment with the worlds aspects, but I would like to play the next segment in the Wild Wasteland series that you all are doing. Uranium, I really didn't have an opportunity because, and anybody that wants to speak, but an opportunity to segue into Wild Wastelands due to our technical issues. But would you give us just a summary or a synopsis of what Wild Wastelands is and what it means to your group currently?
Sure. So it's essentially an anthology of short stories set in the wasteland, and very similar to its namesake Perk from New Vegas. The tone and feel of a lot of the videos and the subject matter is it's often very out there. It's very alien sometimes, and yeah, we do try and blend some humor in here and there as well. The scenarios can be quite amusing and unlikely, and something that we're definitely trying to hammer home is we're trying to do different content with each episode. You know, we don't want 2 episodes to feel like the same episode. That each one will have its own story, but sometimes there is an underlying link with a lot of them. So you may see in future episodes characters from a previous episode appear. Whether it's in a cameo or whether it's something a little bit more direct. So I guess a very easy comparison for anyone watching What If at the moment, the Marvel series on Disney+.
Yes.
Where that, I believe, seems like, you know, after having separate episodes, that seems like it's going to be bringing a lot of those characters together in one final episode. It's a little bit similar to that, I suppose, in the long term. But yeah, the next episode we'll be watching is called The Nest, and I'm not going to be saying anything else about it. I'll let you watch, but I'll just say that this episode we worked with possibly the worst actor we've ever had the displeasure of working with, and we'll discuss.
Can confirm.
Yeah, we'll discuss who that is after it's finished.
All right, yeah, and I wanted to say this particular episode, again, if you pay attention to your Pip Boys, and we are dropping, whoever gave us links to their social Pip Boy channels periodically into the stream. But yeah, when these pop up, it is like grab your coffee or your beer, a good bowl of sugar bombs, and sit down and really enjoy these. This one in particular, I think, inspired a lot of feeling of Jurassic Park. I think I saw some comments relating to it, and yeah, this got a lot of great attention and so well done. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now as we
personnel. This is Chief Scientist Muldoon. If you are hearing me now, you are alive. And if you are alive, you need to get out now. I'm trapped in the science wing with what's left of my team. She's killed everyone else. It all happened so fast. What we did here, what we tried to achieve, who am I kidding? None of that matters now. The FEV was supposed to make her more susceptible to receiving and understanding orders. Nothing could have prepared us for this level of intelligence. Clever girl. Oh God. She's found us. Perhaps I can reason with her. I'm not ready to go. Yes, she might understand. After all, she's, even able to talk. Wait, I know you can understand me. I'm sorry for what we did to you. Please, let me go. This place is yours now. If you let me leave, I can tell others not to come here. How does that sound? No, wait.
This place is full of death. Let's get what we need and get out fast.
Whatever did this is long gone. How about a song? Into town riding on a pony, stuck a feather.
Keep quiet.
You never let me have any fun.
Intruders, die.
Private
Coming in.
servers.
All right, I just hit the live. I'm ahead of you guys by. Here we go. I'm ahead of you guys by 8 seconds. All right. Epic again, just a massive adventure. So, we were talking while we're watching that, and Uranium, you had mentioned that you started off in one direction and it kind of morphed and turned into a variety of different things. I heard some comparisons to Stranger Things. Let's just talk a little bit about that video and what your feelings were about it. Go ahead.
So I think this is such a good example of how some of the ideas we have are just, they come out of nothing. The whole idea for this video was a conversation Drago and I were having, because we discovered that using camp slots again, you could change the biome of a tamed creature. So let's use a Deathclaw as an example. The Deathclaw has a biome where if your camp is in Cranberry Bog, the Mire, the Savage Divide, it will be a glowing Deathclaw. If your camp is in the Ash Heap, it will be an Alpha Deathclaw. And you basically trigger this by switching your camp to another camp slot. And we'd loved the fact that you could have a cool looking Deathclaw, and we were toying with the idea about building it a nest essentially, and that eventually kind of was merged with a reference to Fallout 1, where in Fallout 1 there were intelligent Deathclaws the Enclave had been experimenting with, and they'd been injecting them with FEV, and so they essentially could talk a bit. It was, that's a very it's a very interesting concept considering how Deathclaws are presented in the later games, but that's essentially how the idea was born. And then it was kind of, well, how do you package this into a machinima? And I guess, through osmosis, we watch a lot of TV, keep up to date with a lot of different, films, current and old. But it started off as kind of being an 80s horror, and it ended up being more like Jurassic Park because, Deathclaw, T-Rex, they're a little bit similar. Yeah, I personally, this is one of my favourite videos actually on a personal level. It was an interesting one to film, as as we'll see in a minute, because working with tamed animals is not easy. They don't listen to instructions like other actors.
That's because they
would say tamed is a loose term.
Yeah, they don't sign the Actors Guild contract. We've noticed that as well. So we just decided we will never work with them. They're prima donnas as it is. All right. So there was some comparisons a little bit to that old world Stranger Things. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. What was your thought process when talking about that popular show? It gave you vibes of Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, it did actually. Just the part when the music came in and he's going through the weapon display showing the plasma rifles and that laser grid door reminded me of the intro.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think
that show, the glowing letters and then kind of that ominous beat that comes in. It's kind of heavy and
Yeah, I totally
it's
see
perfect. It was actually. I mean, this ended up being my favorite video also. Agree.
Oh, that's
some
good.
really good shots in there, and I think the whole build is unique in a couple ways. As in, there's pretty much the decor is bodies and blood, war piles.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of decorated
really
it
no
with
actors
blood. Yeah,
too many. The main character is an alpha Deathclaw, which is unique also.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was very cool too. And the build itself is really cool. The facility and the layout, the way the Deathclaw actually ended up cooperating. The video turned out great.
Uranium, you going to say something?
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting you mentioning about the weapon racks. Something we wanted to convey with the weapons and with the power armor suits still being in the stands was this Deathclaw, because, and again, this is all of the basis of the Fallout 1 lore, where when the Enclave experimented on the Deathclaws, they became very intelligent, and the idea is this Deathclaw had been planning its escape for a while, and when it did escape, the Enclave soldiers who you can find positioned quite carefully close to, the laser grid door, which is still closed because they weren't able to get inside in time, and they're kind of sprawled out in front of the power armors. The thinking was, it was really a matter of seconds. If they'd managed to get in some of the power armors, maybe it would have gone a different way. But because of that innate intelligence as a byproduct of the FEV, it was able to kind of systematically kill the entire garrison. But it was and it's such an interesting point. But the main actor in that is not a living person. The only living people you see are in flashbacks. The only briefly living animals you see as well are the dogs outside at the end, which the Deathclaw, and that was total accident too. I was just randomly filming the horizon, and then some wild mongrels spawned, and the Deathclaw went to work on them. And there are things like this that happen in these episodes where it's not planned. You just got to hope you've got your camera ready.
Right.
So really enjoyed working on this one. Happy with how it turned out, and We also got some really good bloopers from it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
well.
show one of those that actually is particularly epic in terms of what you captured there. Hilarious. From a standpoint of the production value, let's talk a little bit before we move into. We still have a couple more build videos I want to get to as we circle back into the creative process. But from a voice acting standpoint and a scripting standpoint, obviously in the beginning of your productions, as with most, the voice acting is limited to what you can do immediately because we want to get something out. But then as you start to build reputation, as you start to build story and lore, becomes people want to become voice actors. What is the process for the voice acting? I know we have a relationship with the EAF, and we all go back and forth with each other as well, and they have become a big part of the voice acting cast. And as you expand out into other communities as well, what is the process for becoming a voice actor with Uranium Fever?
So, I guess, again, a massive shout out to the AF, because they were definitely the first stepping stone to working with an incredibly talented voice cast. Because, let's take, for example, the video that we're working on currently, Arena. Just listening to all of the voice files I've received from Letitia Lemon, Mark Howsworth, yourself, and then your regulars who have also worked on videos before. Oh, and Dylan from the Vultures.
Vultures, yes.
It's the first time I've worked with him. His lines are amazing.
Yes, he's good.
But what I always try and do is, if someone gives me lines for a video, I will always try and find a way to use them, because I like to also... you don't have to have a professional mic. Obviously, it's great when the sound, the voice files are, picture perfect.
Right.
But there are some people we play with, like Drago's done a couple of lines now. Like, some people have such great voices that it's a case of I just want to find a way to use them within the machinima setting.
Right.
But we're always looking for more voice actors, always looking to expand that voice cast. But yeah, I've got to give credit to regulars like Grey Fox, because he's taken on some very interesting characters from me. I don't think I've ever sent anything back as well. It's always to a very high standard. So yeah, it's growing still, and I'm eager for it to continue doing so.
Yeah, I really point the voice actors out, because in a game where, did I say that out loud? This is not a game. This is real life here. So, but in a place where none of our mouths are able to move because of the plague, it's important that we can, hum, murmur, look, our acting. So, but basically what I'm getting to is the power of a good performance in the voice very much can overlook the fact that we can't see mouth movement, except for the geniuses here who are wearing masks. So we assume all of your voices or your mouths are moving. But I agree, it is the voice acting singularly that sells the emotion and the videos. And so the better the quality of the voice acting, that really is the key, regardless of how it sounds. If you can feel emotion from a voice, yeah, absolutely. So from a scripting standpoint, do you have a specific script writer? Is it you or Uranium? Do you share the task with others? What is the scripting starting to become like as your productions become larger and more intensive in terms of details?
So currently, I write the scripts. It's not really something that I had any experience doing. I think that I've managed to wing it so far. I think that there could definitely be improvements made in terms of the process. I should be much better with getting lines to people quicker. These are things that I think I can improve on myself over time. And similarly with the editing, at the moment I do that, but Spider also helps out. He's much better at, well, I have no 3D editing experience, and Spider's helped me out a lot there. There was another guy called Matt who helped me out with some of the earlier videos. I'll be hoping to reconnect with him, because we had a good thing going for a little bit where I could edit one video, he could edit another one. and I guess in a way the production speed would go up a little bit.
Yes.
But there are some amazing script writers and people who do the podcasts. It'd be amazing to collaborate with one of them on a machinima or something. It's something that I've been toying with. So yeah, at the moment, currently, I do it. Whether that will change, I don't know.
All right, you hear that, all the podcasts out there. So load this man up with work, and his crew is ready to rock and roll. That's for sure. All right, so any other words you want to put in here? I would like to circle back a little bit to the build videos. We have a couple more build videos, and we are moving along in the show for sure. So those of you who are sticking it out in the PIP channels, now is the time to get your questions in. HQ, do we have any questions queued, or are we set to roll forward?
We do have a question queued. It's pertaining to worlds.
Okay, so yeah, I've talked about that. We will we'll be working into worlds here in just a few moments. I would like to load.
Right.
Yes, I would like to load up the BOS if that's okay. Would that be okay for you, Uranium and crew?
Could we quickly play the blooper video? It's only.
Oh yes. Good context here. So let me go ahead and. This would be the worst actor, correct?
The worst actor
Can
we've ever...
confirm.
Yes, all right.
The worst actor we've ever...
All right. All right, is it correct there was no sound to the video?
There's no sound on the video.
All right.
I wish there was, so you could options. It was 50 miles an hour, but then for it to then throw stones from behind the hill and actually hit
And kill me.
And kill Spider, I think.
Oh, it killed you. Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
That we.
Yeah, I think he killed me. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been an epic film, right? That would have been a piece that would have gone down in history. So it shot out and actually killed you.
Yep. Yeah. Great hit.
That's a great hit. Yes. Yeah, you got guided death claws now. That's a thing.
Yeah, he liked to run off and throw stuff at me.
So we weirdly we wanted it to kill Spider, but we wanted it to kill Spider from behind to make it look like the Deathclaw would come out of the building, which is why we had to keep. It's such a simple concept. It just needed to. Deathclaw's massive. Spider's got no health. One good sweep would probably kill him in one hit. Instead, it's throwing stones from point blank range. It's zooming off at 60 miles an hour.
I mean, it's
backpedaling.
Oh yeah, it had a Terminator death wish on him. That's for sure. So, all right. And how do you feel about that, Spider? Did you ask for workers' comp after that?
I said I will never do that one again.
Right. Obviously, you're dead now, so yes, you can't. That won't be a thing.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna take a look at. Oh, what is that? Oh, all right. Sorry, Commander. I know you constantly have been in my ear, so I'm gonna have to take a commercial break for one moment to appease Commander John.
The job. We don't do it for thanks, gratitude, or glory. We do it because it's the right thing to do. Helping to secure Appalachia helps others build Appalachia, and that helps us all. Why do we do it, you ask? Because it's the job. It's the right thing to do. Do you have what it takes to become a responder?
Protection. All right, coming back shortly here.
What do you want to play next?
We'll go into both build videos, the mining and BOS.
All right, you're live, Dutch.
All right, here we are. Okay, thank you. All right, Commander Johns, there is your tip for the evening. Thank you, and I expect my payment, non-payment, to be delivered and not delivered simultaneously. So, all right, welcome back. And what I think we would like to do is take a look at two final build videos here, both exceptional. For those of you who are lovers of the Brotherhood of Steel, you're going to love this next one. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we will have some brief discussion.
TACO from Scimitar, ETA 3 minutes on approach, crossing wire on south-southwest access, over. Company L is moving to ASIM from the south, stand by.
Ah, finally, home sweet home.
Oh, you're finally back. What took you so long?
We were ambushed by a raider gang. Idiots had no idea what they were getting into.
Come on.
Ugh, leg needs tightening again.
All right, so again, a haunting video, a very moody video, and so exceptionally done. And again, we talking behind the scenes. Uranium, why don't you fill us in on what you were just discussing with us, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so this was a camp that was originally built in adventure mode, and we've been carrying a lot of the camps that we haven't filmed yet over to Worlds, mainly use the weather settings, but I think everyone who's seen Worlds has seen Dark Bog at this point. It's great above ground, but what was interesting was we wanted to test to see how that would affect the underground structure, because the segments you could see in that clip, that isn't a shelter, that's obviously under the map. Now, because of the Dark Bog setting, it made everything darker as well under the map too, which means that the lighting, the accent lighting is, it pops that little bit, that much more, and it makes, I think that there can be quite a big problem with above ground structures where the lighting, if you're trying to build a bunker or something, it's too light, it's too bright, there's nothing you can do about it. But doing that, using the Dark Bog, not just for the above ground but for the below ground too, it really made, I think, the edit even better. Also, big shout out to Cleveland for this build, because that was only a small segment of it, but it's a really, it's one of my favourite Brotherhood camps. It might be my favourite Brotherhood camp I've seen. He utilised about 3 or 4 shelters in the video, and of course the under the map section that you saw in that clip there.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so
Worlds has been a revelation.
Yeah, so that darkness that you created was actually a product of the environment that you set outside. Then I just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Taking notes. Yes, that's good. Pretty amazing. Now that actually is very, very telling. That we, with the drop of Worlds, it's been a controversial drop. I think creators have obviously embraced it, and I want to get your opinions since we're on Worlds at this point. Were you overwhelmed by what the possibilities were and are currently with Worlds? I know as we look at it, there's just so much at our fingertips now that it's hard to understand and maybe even wrap our hands around what really is possible. you know, and one aspect it is just taking what we already do, right, and expanding it. But what is your opinion on Worlds as a whole, and what you feel it's going to lead to in the future? Anyone, please stand and answer as you choose.
I think that going into Worlds, we'd already been planning. We pretty much, well, Bad Notions, I think in record time, built the Star Destroyer within 8 hours of Worlds being released. There was a clear game plan of what we wanted to do straight off the bat. It was very apparent that it wouldn't be long before people would start doing some amazing stuff on Worlds, and it's definitely something we wanted to get ahead of the game with. In terms of what it's added, you're right in saying that it's had a slightly controversial release. Some of it, I suppose, is justified if you're a big Nuclear Winter fan and that's all you did. You know, it's not really a good trade-off. But even from some camp building sections who are saying things like it's too easy to make something cool, we couldn't disagree with that more. It's not only making filming adventure mode camps better, it's enabling us to make just ridiculously big structures, ridiculously big creations, and it's a great start. I really want a basic day and night setting.
Yes.
That would have been really good feature. Obviously, you know, you can't really complain about all the new and amazing weather settings you can preload, but a great start. And my follow-up to that would be, can we please have 24 people in a custom world?
Amen. Can we put that in writing right here for sure? I think
we should all sign a document together. I think.
Yes, let's go on strike. Let's go on strike, and I'll agree to do so if we do not get to that. That one singular thing would be game changing. I have to say, let me just pan over your shoulder here. Look at this Bethesda mothership. That should be a full audience out there, but we had to release them in order to fit this wonderful cast in. But wouldn't it be great to take actual questions from the audience? Instead, they have to stare at a blank stage. So hate us, don't hate us, but that's what we want. And if you're listening, that's what we want, and that's what we need, and that's what we'll get, and we won't leave until we get it. All right, there we go. I'm not sure that works. All right, and anybody else that would like to comment both on this particular video and or what you feel the potential is with Worlds, and whether or not, and honestly, whether or not you are intimidated by the amount of things. Does it hamper your creativity in the sense of you don't know where to begin, or does it just make you pop with ideas? Anybody that wants to answer, feel free to stand. Want to comment? Those comments with us.
Well, right, the Dutch. That was the of the EAF and was about the what the team was most looking forward to using when they now that they've kind of been in there and had time to really work with things.
Trevor? Sorry.
Oh, well, the Worlds would be, I mean, it does offer an opportunity to do large-size collaborative builds. Especially
build anywhere.
Interesting places like Watoga and anywhere you like, really. I mean, that's probably the most fun feature. And as far as being creative on it, yeah, it is a little overwhelming first. It's hard to grasp, like, an idea that's a little larger scale or outside the box, but the creativity, I mean, is really good. You can make abstract art, you can make structures, just weird things, build them in the sky. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, and we just kind of barely got into it so far.
Right.
But I don't understand the hate either on it so far. It seems like people are just totally against it and not wanting anything to do with it at all, really.
There's a lot of people saying, I'm never going to use it. How can you have an opinion on it if you haven't even used it yet? It's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's
right. That was it's about it. You don't really know until you try it.
Right.
I think it's getting a bad rap right now, basically.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I think, though, to go back to just things like the Star Destroyer build, that is eye-opening. It was eye-opening for me personally, as I looked at the scope of things that can be done now. And I dare say I tease something that's coming soon. If you stick around in the Pip-Boy stream there, we're about to show you something that's going to knock your socks off. And that's all I'm going to say. That this group here has developed, and I'm not going to tease anymore. But needless to say, if people could see groups such as yourself and the things that they are creating and that you're creating, I think it's going to open up a lot of minds very quickly. I think we're still dealing with, obviously, the server issue and the number of bodies that can be in play. But ultimately, yes, the creative process is there. Any other comments regarding the Brotherhood video before I go on to our final build video, which is the mining town?
That's my favorite Brotherhood build there, Cleveland.
Yeah, definitely.
Can confirm.
All right.
Tool room, there's lots of good ideas in there, lots of creative merging, and the layout of it's good.
All right,
Well done. Great details.
We'll go ahead and take a look now at Mining Town. I do believe this is one of your most recent releases. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's quite a recent video.
Yep.
Of a quite an old camp.
All right, here we are. Okay, so let's we had a little build up there for the mining town. Let's hear some discussion on the mining town. Let the people know what that's the most recent build. What was the inspiration behind that? Feel free to stand and explain.
All right, I'll start off. Well, the inspiration, I had that camp built actually before I knew Uranium or anybody in the group actually. It's just an older camp that I've been tweaking and changing as time goes on and budget expands and new items are introduced in the atomic shop. But the overall theme was originally was to be like a raider theme build, kind of just like a desolate town. But it took on more of a abandoned mining town theme for cinema and just a new theme and direction on it. Shooting the video was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people come out and help, and the rad storm effect, I think that turned out great. That added a lot to it. And overall shots of the mole miners just creeping around and doing their thing. I think it came together pretty well.
Now, how much involvement? So once you make these builds and you start working with the filming process, does the builder have a lot of involvement in the filming process, Uranium, or is that once he turns the build over to you, it becomes obviously there's their opinions in there, but does it become your vision and then you create, or is it a collaborative effort beyond just the building?
I guess, in a sense, I don't think what will ever happen shooting day and prior to shooting. The change of direction with it going from a raider to a mining town was more because of the fact that that location is going to be used in a Machinima episode that's coming up. There's a little teaser at the end that's going to lead into that full episode, the location, the kind of remote location, and the aesthetic, and the fact it's kind of built into the cliffside, I felt like it does double up quite well as a mining town, yeah, I guess that creative change was only really made to kind of connect to it, how it will be used in a future episode, called Deep Temple, that will be releasing sometime this year or next, whenever Arena's done.
We will, and that's something we will talk about here shortly for sure. All right, so basically, in terms of the builds, once the builds are made, it's a collaborative effort then to kind of piece together the story that is, involved with the lore of that particular cap or build.
I'd say that, yeah, generally, yeah.
Right. All
I would
right.
say so. I mean, usually we are in a group and we're, throwing ideas at each other and feeding off each other's ideas also.
Right.
We do that with builds too and set designs, and I pretty much think of camp as set designs now when I'm building.
Right. Yeah. That's I would say.
Functional in-game camp. It's more of just a set and I build around the theme and story and script.
Right, and hence is the.
Yeah, it's, we all. I mean, there's quite a few ideas that we all throw in, and they come out pretty good. There's a lot of creative people in this group. Fortunately, I'm glad we kind of got together, and it's definitely made me a better builder, and enjoy the game more. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
We wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't be playing this if we hadn't been doing this. No way. No way.
And that
is moved on.
Yeah, that is something I have heard, not only within our community as well, but many people that are engaging in whatever the creative process is. It is about the community that you're playing with. So you guys obviously have a relationship in game. I do want to touch on that because these are real situations. Are you guys? Would you say you are friends outside of the creative process? And by that, obviously, you have a relationship in here. But is this the creative process in Fallout? Has it really brought you together with people that you don't think you would have normally engaged with if it had not been for what is possible in this game?
100%, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of, well, obviously it's weird coming out of the lockdowns and stuff, but I think that I've always liked the idea that at some point in the future, obviously I'm in a different country to most of the guys, Fallen's in a different country to both, to everyone else as well. It would be nice at some point in the future, I think, if we could. I don't really know enough about Bethesda events. I know there's QuakeCon. I don't know what that really entails.
Right.
But it'd be nice maybe to go to the States at some point and meet everyone in person. Have, I guess,
Fallout Con
Expo or some shit.
Yes,
yeah.
Fallout Con. Yes, I think that is something that Bethesda owes us at this point. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
I didn't mean that, but no, I totally agree. White Spring, a full community interaction would be absolutely epic. So.
Oh yeah. Great show.
That would be for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving along into our show. We are coming towards the end here, and any other questions in the Pip chat that would like to be asked? I don't know that we answered that one world's question, Corey. Do we want to field that question still, or was it answered? Do you feel?
Well, Dutch, that would really be up to the Enclave Armed Forces. They're the ones that posed the question. I didn't state the question officially, I do feel that you certainly kind of chatted around the concept of all the aspects of worlds, but I'll leave it to the EAF to decide if they have been answered in a satisfactory manner.
All right, we will wait for Modus to inform us of their decision. And as we do, we are coming to the end of our show, folks, and with a group like this, there are so many aspects to it and so many questions. I know as a content creator myself, this group, I have to say, has inspired me personally in a way that I needed to be inspired because honestly, the creativity level was beginning to wane, I think, in a lot of areas, and seeing the new creative venues that these gentlemen are bringing, and the stories, and the way that they use this game and its mechanics to create these amazing, not just the stories, but the adventures that these characters are being put on. It's inspiring, and I think I had mentioned to Uranium at one point that he was giving, some of us that have been in this game since beta, and I don't know the length of time that you guys have been in, but creating since beta in some format, and that's 3.5 years almost. It gets old, if we're talking about it, but you guys are able to pull something fresh from a game that really, in the beginning, professional terms was a failure. And I think everybody that's sitting here in this beautiful picture here, and this really, if I must say, a beautiful set. But at any rate, I'm not a builder. So at any rate, I think, it is a testament to the longevity of this game, the relationships that are formed, and really the power of this game is not so much in the game itself. It is in what this game is able to bring to people in terms of community and to the creativity process. So, Corey, was that question one that wanted to be asked again, please?
No, I believe the general's words were that he was very satisfied, and I'm not sure if this is I should record this as a potentially a statement intent, or I'm not sure, but he made a comment about he has a hard line to Uranium Fever if he ever displeases him. So
no,
yay.
Yes.
Terrifying.
All right, beware of authoritarian leaders. Trust me. You saw the state of my firehouse now since I left the responders. They have stopped paying me caps. So if you're receiving caps for services, be careful on how you tread. All right, gentlemen, as you sit here, is there anything that you would like the audience to know before we play this final, what will be the final piece of information? We're just going to call it that right now. I don't want to build it up too much, but anything that you would like the audience to know. And audience, if there is anything that you would like, any final questions you would like answered, this is your time. This is Uranium Fever and the crew, all right? So these are the videos, the creators of the videos and the builds that you are watching. Now is the time to ask the questions. Gentlemen, anything that you would like to say, go ahead and stand and give your final. I promise this isn't a trap house.
Oh, man.
Not yet, please. Unless...
Get comfortable. There we go. Now I'm comfortable.
Now we're dancing. I see this. Yes. Sammy.
Yep.
All right.
Now I'm comfortable. I had to get that starting to chafe.
Yes, it's a little uncomfortable. I agree. This suit is a little constricting.
I would like to answer my question without somebody asking a question. The sudden disappearance was caused by malfunctioning stealth boy device that caused me on my disappearance. So I had to go backstage to fix it. And
the bathroom.
Yeah, we are glad you made it. Yes, it just looked like an urgent situation, and we all understand. We've been there, and we are glad you were able to make it back. Absolutely. Gentlemen and ladies that are in the let me see this. All right, I would stand up if it wouldn't break my camera angles, but you know what, let me just make sure that all things come back to haunt thee. This is the festival of tea bags. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to play for you. All right. There's not enough Kims, Commander, for me to keep doing this. I tell you what. No. All right. So, Uranium, you and I had a deal. All right. Yeah. We invited you to the Watoga Cinema because we had arranged by contract the premiere episode of Arena, the next episode of Wild Wasteland. So,
Where the hell is it?
And I wanted to speak with you from one creator to another. You and I have been burning the midnight candle many nights talking to one another. And let it be known we understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing you the very first trailer of Arena, which is episode 4 of Wild Wasteland. It will at some point be episode 4, the full movie. And I hope that we can at least guarantee that we will receive a canned version for theater play a day ahead of time. That is a day ahead of time. I would love to see it a day ahead of time. And,
well, I owe you a premiere after this. When it is done, I don't even know when to say it will be done because it's an absolute monster. It's a film. It's been a monster to edit. It has an incredible voice cast, which you won't get to hear yet. But when you do, it is. I think it'll be quite a good experience, and I'm really looking forward to it being done too.
Yes.
And have a break.
Yes. So to credit Uranium and the crew here. For Uranium, it is now getting on to the wee hours of the morning where he is from, and he has been diligent in being here and has worked very hard to bring us this trailer so we would have it this evening to play for you all. This is going to be episode 4, and it, even without the voiceovers, you can tell how epic this episode is going to be, and we are so looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now, and then we are going to close the show when we return. This is the very first premiere, as far as I know, unless you're telling fibs, Uranium. This is the very first premiere of Arena. This is episode 4 and Wild Wasteland.
Alright, Dutch, you're live.
Well, thank you. I'm quite aware of when I'm live. I mean, right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think even just the sliver of pie taste that we just received, you can see how amazing this is going to be. And I'm not going to weather any more time tonight, but we didn't even touch on sound design, special effects, editing as far as the sound, the music, composing, all of those things, and honestly, just like voice acting, are probably just as important. So that's for another visit to the Watoga Cinema, I think, at this point. But you were discussing how briefly how the filming of this has been just a massive undertaking. Tell us just a little bit about what you've been experiencing with the filming of Arena, which is really, I guess, is your largest production yet.
Yeah, I think the nature of the build itself, it being an arena where, presumably a lot of raiders, it's mostly raiders in the video, they would gather together to watch events or fights that are happening there. For it to be convincing, you need a crowd, and when you're doing team deathmatch between 3v3, and that's 6 people out of your 8 on a private, excluding the cameraman, the 7th, you've got 1 person left over for the crowd, you've got a problem. And you throw on top of that the weather cycles. It was a slow moving process, and we had to do a lot of reshoots. But I think when this does all come together now, I've been trawling through all the footage. There's hours of footage. there are some. I'm really happy with a lot of the shots, and I think that it should feel like it's quite populated. We got very creative with the outfits. We managed. I think the most we got in a scene was probably maybe 16 people in one time. Something like that. And I was on the public server, so we tended to shoot the crowd. If it was focusing on the crowds, we do that on the public. Try and empty the public and fill it up with our own guys and girls.
Right.
And I could see it taking another week or so of just solid editing. Bear in mind there was no actual sound design; that was just a backing track.
Right.
So something we always prioritize now is everything you see should have a sound, whether it's gunfire, machinery. So I'm hoping that when it's all finished, it should be quite an immersive experience. There's a lot of different sets there. There's some interiors too, the betting hall and a Blood Eagle bar, which should be good scenes, I think, that people will enjoy. And I've got to credit Drago. He's the camp builder who's built all of this, and he is an incredible raider builder. I'm looking forward to people seeing more of that in the full episode.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think you definitely touched the nerve. As you get bigger in production value, yes, everything needs sound, and that's where the details that people don't understand really start to take tremendous time. And again, we go back to being able to bring bodies into a private world where we can control the environment. If we could have more than just 8, not to rail on that situation, it would make production so much faster and content being produced so much quicker. I know from our personal standpoint, and the EAF who are in the audience as well, they have sat through many a times as well with us where we have to wait for a day-night cycle, 30 minutes plus before you can begin filming again. And it's maddening.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, I credit you, and there's no doubt that the end product is going to be a massive experience that deserves to be on every big screen, including Watoga Cinema. I'm just saying, including Watoga Cinema. So that being said, I'm going to actually stand my ass up here. Oh God, let me walk over here. I'm going to normally at this point in time, I would give a fancy love emote, but I'm sure you're all hungry. So I would like to fix some of Dutch's most famous meat. Let me season that up for you. All right. Yeah, feel free to drink. And normally I would address... Hey, who cut the lights? Corey, what the hell's going on?
Dutch, something big is happening in Watoga. Grab your gear.
Communist detected on American soil. Lethal force engaged. I am Liberty Prime. I am